and embrace what we all know. We all know that one vibration feeds your soul with that one vibration. Thank you. Good morning. Ooh, that was good. Kathy Ann trained you well. Let's do it again. Good morning. Thank you. I needed that. I woke up this morning, I had this little song in my head from Girl Scout camp. So I was a Girl Scout for 13 years. It goes like this, and some of you may know it. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake. I'm alert, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. Bam. So, and then you sing it over and over and over again and go faster and faster and faster, and that's what makes it really fun. But I love Girl Scout camp. I'm a big camp dork. I love camps. I love retreats. I started 2 camps, one for women and one for emerging leaders in our organization. And I just love how having that time away nurtures the soul. It's oftentimes the time, Jesus may have called it the time in the tomb. It's the time to get away and to just be unhooked and unplugged. And that's kind of where the magic happens. That's where the resurrection happens. And just following Easter, it's really an appropriate time to be talking about that resurrection and the after, but it's also appropriate to talk about that time in the in-between. There's a lot happening in our planet right now, and especially in our United States. There's a lot of things that are stirring my soul, and well, I'm just going to say, they upset me. They upset me. And part of those things are like the Parkland shooting that just happened, and the shooting of Stefan Clark, who was an unarmed black man that happened in Sacramento, right close to where I live. And I don't live in Sacramento, but it's in the state of California, which is closer than San Diego. So that's in my backyard. And these things that are going on kind of make, they could make one go to the place where, like, it's all going downhill. Yeah. Hell in a handbasket. Oh. I didn't say that. But there's something, I think, deeper that's going on right now. And it's not just happening in the United States, it's going on all around the planet. For millennia, I will say, for at least thousands of years, we've had this experience of the divine masculine. And the divine masculine is amazing. The divine masculine is like power and order and intention, right? It's directive. It's very, very, powerful, right? And this divine masculine has been rising for thousands of years, and it's kind of gotten to a point where it's time to balance it out. Now, the divine masculine is whenever you think about power, now power is kind of like electricity. And electricity is awesome, but electricity can cook your food or it can cook a human, right? So if you get a little too much of it, then it gets a little damaging. And I'm just going to say that that's what has happened a lot on our planet. There's been a lot of that happening. But the beauty of it is we're in the experience of a resurrection. And it's the resurrection of the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is coming not to overpower, because that's not what the divine feminine does. The divine feminine is coming to come in perfect harmony, perfect balance with the divine masculine. So the divine masculine's not going away. You're not losing your power. Your power is staying there. But the divine feminine comes in. And the divine feminine is about that interconnectedness of realizing that we're all connected. And it's also, if we're looking at our Science of Mind teaching symbol, we have that part in the top that's like, this is intention, right? It's also intention is the divine masculine. Well, what happens to that intention? It gets planted. We have the seed, the soil. The seed gets planted in the soil of the divine feminine. Now, I studied the divine feminine last year at my Sister Spirit retreat, and the interesting thing about the divine feminine is it is that time in the cave. It's that mysterious something that is, it's the soil. It's the soil. It's the gestation. It's the in-between. And whenever you're planting a plant, you plant the seed, and what do you put on that seed? Fertilizer, right? Lots of fertilizer, lots of water, right? So you get that combination of things. So maybe there's a little fertilizer going on right now in our country. Maybe. And maybe that is there to provide nutrients. Maybe it's there to be the causative action because we have put an intention in the universe for a world that works for everyone. We've created, Centers for Spiritual Living has created this divine vision that's about a world that works for everyone. And this is layered because this community has created a vision statement that is, we are a welcome spiritual community serving as a force for good in the world. A force for good. Yeah. And so as you've implanted that, so there's like these different seeds that have been implanted, that's part of this global vision that is emerging. But it took that intention. And I love because we're studying this month, we're studying the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. I love this book. If you don't have it, go buy it now because it's amazing. And I've read it before, and it was lovely to reread it again. And I just decided to pick my favorite laws because I'm the first person to talk about it this month. So, everybody else who's talking about it. Sorry, Kathy Ann. I picked my 2 favorite laws. And one of the laws is the law of intention. The law of intention and desire. And Deepak Chopra says, inherent in every intention and desire is the mechanics for its fulfillment. Intention and desire in the field of pure potentiality have infinite organizing power. And when we introduce an intention in the fertile ground of pure potentiality, we put this organizing power to work for us. Yeah, now that's powerful. That's powerful. So recently I decided to put this intention in the ground of fertile, pure potentiality to be an even more compassionate person on this planet, even more, just to like bump it up a notch. And you know, when I put my intention out there, and just so you know, when you put your intention out there, the universe conspires for you to have ways to step into this experience, for you to be, for me to be compassionate, right? So a couple days ago, it was in the morning, and my wife, Gina, calls from the other room. She's like, Abigail! And I know it's an urgent scream, and I'm like, I better come right away. So I come running, and you see, I'm the spider saver in our family. So I come running, expecting to be like, da-da-da, here I am to save the spider. And she immediately, she's like, here, and she like hands me the cup. And I'm like, okay. And I grab the cup, ready to save the spider. And she points over there, and it's a cockroach. And so I go around, and of course she has to like push it towards me. So I'm like, ah! And I get it. And I, put paper underneath, and I get the cup, and then I go outside and I just throw it all. I'm like, ah! Everything goes flying, the roach, the cup, the paper. And I just left it there for a while. So, but what is compassion, right? Compassion is saving something that you don't like. And so what did I asked for it. I'm a compassionate person. I'm here to just up my level of compassion, and the universe is like, here you go. But that's how it works. That's how it works. It gives us opportunities to step into the fullness of experiencing this. I love the divine feminine because the divine feminine is that creative nature. It's creativity. And it's also the part it's the chrysalis, It's the chrysalis. Maya Angelou has this great quote. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. Yeah. To the caterpillar, the butterfly means death. And so that's the divine feminine, though. Whenever the caterpillar is in the chrysalis, it literally turns into soup. Like all of its pieces come completely apart, and then they reform to create something new. Now, I don't know, maybe you might be having that in your life right now. You might be falling apart so that you can be falling together. And the thing to understand is it's part of the process. It means what you've intended out into the universe is coming into fruition. It's coming into fruition. And I've been really, I got to tell you something. I fell in love with you 2 years ago. I did. I fell in love with you 2 years ago. And I've been following you on Facebook, and I have a Sunday gig, so I haven't been watching you on Sunday during live stream, but after live stream, I've been watching, and I've been celebrating with you, and I went to your member meeting, and I got your strategic plan, and it's been wonderful. Your strategic plan is amazing. Who here was helped in putting that together? There must have been a ton of people. There's some great people. Oh my God. Can we give them a hand? That's amazing. It's amazing. And here's the deal. That's what this community has put this intention out there. I'm going to read to you some of it here. It was substantially expand and diversify our congregation, our community. Create an even more effective process to engage people in greater connectedness. And I started creating affirmations off this. I was like, oh yeah. I love how easily and effortlessly we serve everybody here in the community. We continue to develop deep engagement and connection. Our members love Center for Spiritual Living so much that they want to actively participate at the next level of creation and joy for the entire community. We are a community where everyone is engaged and expands because all are sharing their gifts in expanded service. And I love the expansiveness and diversity of our community here. Now, I just took exactly what was written in the strategic plan, and I just wrote them as affirmations. And it's beautiful. It's completely inspiring. But here's the deal. You're knocked up. You're pregnant. You got a bun in the oven. There's something going on. You planted the intention. You planted this strategic plan. You planted this new vision into the universe, and you're pregnant with it. You're pregnant with that possibility, and you are carrying it around. And I don't care if this is your first Sunday and you walked in those doors. You're pregnant. Sorry, honey. Male, female. I know it's like guys are like, what? How did this happen? You know, it's how the divine feminine works. You put it out, you put that intention out there, and the thing about the divine feminine is like you don't do the divine feminine does you. Like when you're pregnant, like you can't do anything. It starts moving, stuff happens to you that you're like, oh, you're like you want to be in charge, but you're not in charge, you know? And it's just, so that's what's going on right now. When you get pregnant, things start moving without you. You get stretch marks. Things start opening in new ways. Right? Are you feeling a little stretched right now? You get this opening that starts to happen, and you're like, I don't even know what's going on, but things are changing. Things are changing. And it's okay. Things will change. Stay open. I want you to realize that because what you're doing is you created this intention, but you're also birthing a new reality. You're birthing a new idea. You're birthing a new paradigm, not only for this center, but you're birthing a new paradigm for Seattle. You're birthing a new paradigm for this world. You're birthing a new paradigm for your own life. So I want you to repeat after me. I'm a birther of new realities. I'm a birther of new realities. Turn to your neighbor and say, I'm a birther of new realities. Now say it enthusiastically. I'm a birther of new realities. How does it feel to be pregnant? Yeah. Sorry, I went to church on Sunday, I got knocked up. The other thing that might happen is your most intimate parts might change colors when you're pregnant. They change colors. A lot of the women know this. Some women were too pregnant to know this. But when you're pregnant, your most intimate parts change colors. They get bigger and different. And the deal about that is this community has called forth in its pregnancy the idea, the possibility of diversity. And in Centers for Spiritual Living is one of the guiding values, which is diversity, is one of our guiding values. It says in the organizational design model, we value, embrace, and celebrate the individual uniqueness and contribution of all people as they express through differences of gender, ethnicity, culture, history, experience, talents, and sexual orientation and gender identity. We include representations from all of our organizational constituencies in leadership, sacred service, and decision-making. Now that's powerful. Yeah. So it's okay that your most intimate parts look different. It's all right. Embrace it. Embrace it. And there's something else that happens. your feet start getting bigger. They start swelling. You got to throw away those nice shoes that you had. You got to get a new pair of shoes. And feet metaphysically represent that phase of the understanding that connects one with the outer or manifest world. And it reveals the right relationships towards worldly conditions in general. And it also represents being grounded. And what we do to get grounded, we ground in our spiritual practices. We are grounded in our spiritual practices. Are you grounded in your spiritual practice? Because you need to start getting grounded, because what's coming through you needs some grounding. And that's what I invite you to step into, is really stepping fuller into that possibility of using this daily, every day. Because the world and the center and things are changing. And in order to usher that new expression, you need to have that connectedness to Mother Earth, to Gaia, to Pachamama, that connectedness. And those spiritual practices continually cause each and every one of us to be able to bear the weight of birthing this new idea into possibility. So I invite you to think about, how can I up my level of spiritual practice? And the thing about pregnancy is that you got to be active with it. Now, I know I just said it's happening through you, like the divine feminine does you, but it's not just that. It's, you gotta participate. You gotta take your nutrients. You gotta have your daily dose of fun. You gotta make sure you're still doing the appropriate exercises. You gotta make sure that you're taking care of your body. Now, are you taking care of the body of your affairs? Are you taking care of this community as it's birthing its new experience? Are you stepping into the fullness of sharing your gifts and sharing who you are in the fullness of who you are with this community? Because this is an invitation. Now, there's a danger that the vision could be a stillbirth vision. But that doesn't have to be true. If everybody here engages with it actively, then it's a cause for the vibrancy and the fullness and the aliveness of the vision to come into fruition. So it's like, not only do I'm pregnant with I put the seed, I put the intention, and I'm pregnant with it, and it's doing me, but I also need to participate and co-create with it. I need to step into that idea that what I do makes a difference in the effect of the total vision. Because it's pulling, the baby is pulling from me those nutrients. It's pulling those ideas. And so I got to keep feeding them in. And I got to keep giving the fullness of myself to the situation, even though it's changing, even though it's different. I got to keep participating in a greater manner. Yeah. I got to keep participating in a greater manner. It's like, and this center is where you're moving, right? Moving locations, if you didn't know, surprise. I keep surprising you today if you didn't know. Moving locations, but what it means is in this transition, in this, as you're birthing this greater vision, that's part of it. It's because you wanted to have a new idea. It's because you've been putting these intentions. It's because you want to grow in a new way. That's why this is happening, because you are birthing a new possibility, a new paradigm for the center, for the world, for the globe, for what you're being. And it requires everybody to participate in order for this birth to just come into the beauty of its fruition. So I invite you to think about, what can I contribute? How can I step into the fullness of this vision? How can I be a participatory midwife or mid-father of this? How can I participate in it to the fullest of my being? And there's something that's really crucial and key, and it's the other law that I really love from the book, the law of detachment. Deepak Chopra says, in detachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. In the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the known, which is the prison of past conditioning. The known is the prison of past conditioning. And in our willingness to step into the unknown, into the field of possibilities, we surrender ourselves to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. Now, there's a story about how to catch a monkey. And it's lovely because it's a great example of how to do this. So monkeys, just imagine a monkey, and imagine there's a box, right? There's a box right here. Now, in order to catch a monkey, in the box, at the bottom of the box are nuts. And the box has a slot that's just big enough for the hand to get through. So the monkey sticks its hand in the slot, grabs the nuts, tries to pull them out, and can't get the arm out. So then the monkey has a choice. Well, I could let go of the nuts and be free, or I could hold on to the nuts because they're mine, and I can't go anywhere. And most monkeys will choose to hold on to the nuts. And in order to get free, you gotta let go, pull your hand out. Now, are you holding on to some things? Are you holding on to some ways of being, some old patterns and old belief systems, some old ideas? Now, it happens. I mean, we do this. I do this. We all do this because we're afraid of the uncertainty which lies ahead. So we resist change, and like the monkey, we find ourselves trapped. So in order to step into the fullness of change, we gotta let go. We gotta be detached to the outcome. Deepak Chopra says that you can make a commitment to the following steps, a commitment to the law of detachment by using the following steps. First, you commit yourself to detachment, which means I will allow myself and those around me the freedom to be who and how they are. I will not rigidly impose my idea of how I think things should be. I will not force solutions on problems, thereby creating new problems. And I will participate in everything with detached involvement. That's the first one. The second thing is I will factor in uncertainty as an essential ingredient to my experience. So it's like, you're gonna bake a cake and you put in the sugar and the flour and the milk and uncertainty, and you don't know how it's gonna come out, right? But you do that in your everyday experience. You put the ingredient of uncertainty in. And in my willingness to accept uncertainty, solutions will spontaneously emerge out of the problem. They will spontaneously emerge out of the confusion, the disorder, and the chaos because, why? The divine feminine is the thing that's nurturing that, and what is that? The darkness, the confusion, the disorder, the chaos. But what happens is life springs from that. The more uncertain things seem to be, the more secure I will feel. That's a great affirmation, right? The more uncertain things seem, the more secure I feel. Because uncertainty is my path to freedom. Through the wisdom of uncertainty, I find my freedom. And the third thing he recommends is I will step into the field of all possibilities and anticipate the excitement that can occur when I remain open to an infinity of choices. When I step into the field of all possibilities, I will experience all the fun, adventure, magic, and mystery of life. Doesn't that sound great? Yeah. I'm doing a workshop, And my workshop, that's right after service at 1:30, is about sow, flow, and grow. And so we're going to sow by nurturing and give vitamins and putting intention to something that's changing in our life, right? And then we're going to be in the process, right? You're flowing. You're in the gestation, right? You got to be in the flow. You got to be in the flow. And then you're going to grow by take actions in alignment with the vision. Take actions in alignment with the vision. So I invite you to come to my workshop today. If you have a change going on, I don't know, maybe moving locations or something like that in your life or something else, I invite you to come and participate in our workshop today. And we'll go into that even a little bit deeper with some active experientials for you to take something on in your life you'd like to work on. But I invite you to think about what we've talked about today. So we've talked about the spirit of intention. We've talked about the spirit of being birth and the in-between of the progress. And then we talked about that decision to be in that space of detachment. So it's like we're active, we're being, and then we're detached. And I'm sure all those parents know what it's like to be detached. Because the baby's going to just be its own self, and that's okay. So are you willing to participate in this experience with me? If so, say yes. Yes. Are you willing to be a co-creator of new realities? If so, say yes. Yes. Are you willing to take on this center and this community in a new way? If so, say yes. Yes. And are you willing to live the life of your dreams because that's how it was meant to be? If so, say yes. Yes. All right, well, let's do this then. Let's make it happen. Thank you. And so it is, right? Thank you. Thank you. And let's pray. So knowing right here and now that the infinite divine mother is at work, that she is moving through each and every one of us and using each and every one of us as a vessel for that divine inspiration. I recognize and know that I am the birther of new realities. I am in the space of creation that is using me as a temple to experience the fullness of itself in all ways, in all times, in all spaces. And so as I recognize this truth, I know and claim that I am pregnant with possibility and that it is birthing through me in a new way, in ways that I can't even imagine, that are greater and more magnificent than I could even dream of. And as I claim that for me, I claim that for each and every person here in this room, each and every person who's listening on live stream, each and every person, that we're all interconnected, that we're all part of what's happening, that I'm shifted and lifted and gifted in this new way of possibility. I am prime to be this most magnificent expression of love and light and possibility. So as I see that truth, I release this prayer, surrendering, letting go of attachment, being detached, and knowing that I am here, ready and willing to experience the unfolding as she has for me to experience. And I know it's good, and I love it, and I'm grateful for it. I surrender to it, and I release this prayer knowing it's already done. And so it is.